So if you could send a message back in time, share something with your family and friends when you were in like your darkest moments. What would,
That's a tough question.
what would you?
Rough for that.
I wanted to surprise you
Oh, you got it.
because I'm saying this because as a parent who also had one of my children just like their life went off the rails. Um, a lot of navigating that was discovering other people that were navigating it too.
Sure.
And so it was helpful when somebody could share something of the experience that was helpful for them.
Well, if I could go back in time to speak to my parents or whatever about how they dealt with me, and uh, I look back at the way that my father treated me. I felt like my mom had pretty much written me off by the point when I decided to get clean. And had I not decided to get clean, she probably never would have talked to me again. But my father wasn't like that. He was approachable. Um, so if I could go back in time and talk to him, I would say, don't do anything different. You know, um, thank you for not writing me off, because eventually it paid off. But yeah. I'm sorry that I put you through what I put you through. Yeah. No, if I could go back in time, I would just say sorry. Or from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah,
That's a tough one.
it is. And I think when, as a parent, like when difficult things hit our kids and you see your kids making decisions that are painful to watch, there's a part of you that does want to shut down. There's a part of you that, in order to protect yourself from further pain in watching it, you just kind of like throw all the shields up.
Sure.
So for somebody to say, I see my child still going through these things and I'm going to make myself available to them is a big deal.
It's not the easiest thing to do.
No.
And so I would, if I had a recommendation from being on the errant side of things to you or to anybody else that's dealing with that currently, um, I would say, you can't do it. You can't do things for them. They have to make their own decisions. They have to learn their own lessons, or they never will learn them.
Sure.
And that's one of the things about getting clean, sober, or, deciding to turn your life around in any way is you have to be ready for that. Nobody can tell you that you're an addict.
Right.
You have to make that decision for yourself. So, and nobody can, if you're screwing up, I mean, we all screw up.
Yeah, all of us do.
There's different, levels of it. And as somebody on the other side of it, you want to, and especially for your child, you want to be able to help them. The best way that you can help them is be there when they ask for it.
Yeah.
But not to proactively try and give it, because a lot of addicts will use their parents or whoever wants to give somebody help as a crutch to keep from changing.
From making any change.
Making the changes, because they have somebody who's going to give them money if they need it, or give them food if they need it, or, make sure that they, at least if they don't land on their feet, they land on their butt and not their head.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
And so I don't recommend being proactive. I recommend being reactive and just being available.
Being available.
If and when they realize, okay, I have to make a change. I don't know how to make the change, but I need help making this.
Making that change.
But they have to. It has to be their.
Yeah. Yeah, they have to come to that conclusion.
Right.
Yeah, that they
Hopefully
need to
they
say
don't
help.
put a gun in their mouth and get a misfire like I did. For
Right.
it, stranger things. It happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if I look back at all the times I almost died but didn't, you know, uh, yeah, we may not be sitting here having this conversation had I made a different decision.
Yeah.
Had I not put the gun down and called my parents, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and I think that was just amazing that your dad just dropped whatever he was doing and he came.
yeah, yeah. I am forever grateful that their patience wasn't infinite, but it was enough, long enough
Long
that I
enough.
was able to figure it out for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, everybody's bottom is different. Another thing about not being proactive but being reactive is you actually can kind of help their bottom happen faster if you're not there to.
Constantly keep them from hitting it. Yeah. 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 I think if our listeners could take anything like away from this, is that it's important to listen. It's important to be present in somebody else's life. Like it just seemed like there were those pivotal moments in your life that there was somebody willing to listen and there was somebody willing to be present when you needed it most. Yeah. Yeah. And I hope that if they take anything away from this, just how valuable it is to exercise those qualities, those characteristics in interacting with other people. Because like you and I had discussed, like, you know, sure, there are people that look for churches because maybe they've moved to a new area, they're trying to find a new place. But I think the bulk of us, when we're looking for a church, is because we're in crisis. We need help. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. Um, which brings me to this passage I thought of as I thought about your story, um, that reinforces being a listener, being present. It says in 2 Corinthians 1, verses 3 and 4, he says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and God of all comfort." Verse 4, "Who comforts us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort those who are in any trouble, with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God." And there's this picture in that we who have gone through difficult periods in our life, we can be that person who will listen. We can be that person who will be present. Not just make a person feel welcome. That's great,
Right.
right? We need that. We need somebody to welcome us when we come into the church, but we need that step beyond. The person that will make themselves available and say, uh, I would love to hear your story. I would like to get to know you better. And that just becomes that open door for that kind of dynamic to happen.
Well, you're definitely quicker drawn to somebody who is actually interested in learning about who you are. You can make a better, deeper connection with another person if you actively want to get to know them.
Yeah. It seems basic, but
Yeah. It actually takes effort
yes.
to start. But once you started, then it doesn't take any effort to listen.
Yeah. But I think we all need that encouragement.
Absolutely.
We all need that encouragement that when we step into the doors of a church, to look for those opportunities. Because not everybody's going to feel comfortable enough to initiate them, right? So like people like us that have gone through things, we have that common ground that we can um, share with the people that are coming into God's house.
And they can listen without judgment.
Yeah.
Yes. We've seen it, been there, done that.
Right. Yeah. It's level footing at the cross, right? We're all coming there as a wreck. So there's no need to pretend like, oh, that's just you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Jason, I want to thank you, man, for sharing your story. And I think
Well, next time the roles are reversed.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to that conversation. So this has been the No Rock Stars podcast. We want to thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.